A step back and observe your thoughts and emotions without immediately reacting to them. When you feel anger rising, pause and ask yourself, is this worth my energy? When fear grips you, question it. Is this fear rational, or is it simply my mind creating obstacles? Self-mastery also demands discipline, the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. A man who masters himself does not wait for motivation. He acts regardless of how he feels. This applies to every aspect of life. Waking up early, training your body, sharpening your mind, and keeping your word. Another key element of self-mastery is emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage your emotions rather than being controlled by them. This means learning to sit with discomfort, to process pain without resorting to anger or avoidance. It means knowing when to speak and when to stay silent, when to push forward and when to retreat strategically. And finally, self-mastery requires purpose. Without a clear direction, a man is like a ship without a rudder, drifting wherever the winds of life take him. Define your mission. What do you stand for? What kind of man do you want to be? Once you know that, align your daily actions with your greater vision. Gentlemen, this is the path to mastery. It is not easy, but nothing of value ever is. The reward? A life of strength, clarity, and unshakable confidence. Now that we explore the internal battlefield, let's turn our attention outward to leadership, legacy, and the mark you leave on the world. Mastering the warrior's mind. The path to self-discipline and strength, true strength, isn't about dominating others. It's about mastering yourself. Achieving self-discipline requires daily commitment, but it begins with simple, intentional actions. Set aside a few minutes each day to sit in stillness and simply watch your thoughts. Don't judge them or attempt to control them. Just observe them as they come and go, like clouds drifting across the sky. This practice cultivates self-awareness, a foundational skill for mental discipline. At the end of each day, take time to reflect. Where did you demonstrate self-control? Where did your emotions override your reason? What can you improve tomorrow? Writing down your experiences solidifies your lessons and helps track your growth. Before indulging in a desire, whether it's making a purchase, grabbing a drink, or checking your phone, pause. Ask yourself, do I truly need this right now? Sometimes the answer is yes, and that's okay. But often, you'll realize you can do without. Resisting impulsive urges strengthens willpower over time. Self-mastery isn't an overnight achievement. It's a lifelong commitment. Every time you choose discipline over impulse, reason over emotion, you take another step on the path. In ancient times, a warrior's greatest weapon wasn't his sword or shield. It was his mind. Today, we may not face battles on the battlefield, but we still fight wars in our careers, relationships, and within ourselves. The warrior's mind is about developing mental resilience. It means standing firm when life tries to break you, pushing forward when every part of you wants to quit. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." You may not always control your circumstances, but you can always control your response. Growth only happens outside of your comfort zone. Train yourself to endure difficulty. Before facing a challenge, take a moment to close your eyes and see yourself overcoming it. This is a mere wishful thinking. It's mental rehearsal. Elite athletes, soldiers, and top performers use visualization to prepare for success. Your mind often cannot distinguish between vivid mental imagery and reality. Use this to your advantage. 3. Reframe challenges. Every obstacle is an opportunity in disguise. Lost your job? It's a chance to pursue something greater. A relationship ended? It's an opportunity for personal growth. Take inspiration from Cato the Younger, a Roman statesman known for his unwavering principles. When the Roman Republic fell, he didn't see it as defeat. He saw a chance to stand firm in his values. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius, a warrior, doesn't fear hardship. He welcomes it as a chance to prove his strength. The gentleman's code. Strength with honor. A true warrior isn't just measured by his ability to endure hardship, but by how he carries himself in both victory and defeat. This is where the gentleman's code comes into play, balancing power with grace, strength with respect. Being a gentleman isn't outdated. In today's world, it's more crucial than ever. It requires the strength to be kind, the courage to be vulnerable, and the wisdom to know when to stand firm and when to yield. At its core, the gentleman's code is built on two pillars. Respect begins with yourself. As Confucius said, respect yourself, and others will respect you. True respect isn't found in grand gestures. It's in the small things. Holding the door for someone, listening attentively, keeping your word. These aren't signs of weakness, but of self-assurance and strength. Honor is not just an abstract virtue. It's a practical guide for decision-making. Before acting, ask yourself, is this honorable? Would I be proud of this choice if it were made public? Take inspiration from Cincinnatus, a Roman statesman who was twice given absolute power to save Rome from crisis. Both times, he relinquished his authority once the job was done. That is honor in action. However, being a gentleman does not mean being a pushover. It's about being assertive without being aggressive, standing for what's right, and speaking your truth with respect and dignity. The challenge: take control of your life. For the next week, focus on what you can control. When something frustrates you, ask yourself, this is within my power to change. This simple shift in mindset can transform your life. The true warrior isn't the one who conquers others, but the one who masters himself. Strength is found not in aggression, but in control. Power is found not in dominance, but in discipline. You have the mind of a warrior. You have the strength to face any challenge. You have the power to turn obstacles into opportunities. Now go forth and prove it. The path of a true gentleman. Strength, integrity, and legacy. In life, communication is key, and the way we express our feelings can make all the difference. Rather than placing blame, it's more effective to use I statements to convey emotions. For example, saying, I feel frustrated when, fosters understanding, while you always can create defensiveness. This principle extends beyond communication. It speaks to the very nature of being a gentleman. Paul Fussell once said, the true gentleman is subtly poised between an inner toughness and outward reserve. This balance is essential. Strength doesn't require harshness, and confidence doesn't demand arrogance. True strength lies in the ability to admit when you're wrong. A true gentleman isn't afraid to apologize, to show vulnerability, or to acknowledge his faults. This isn't weakness, it's integrity. The code of a gentleman isn't about rigid traditions or outdated etiquette. It's about striving to be the best version of yourself. It's about treating others with respect, navigating life with honor, and upholding dignity in every interaction. So here's a challenge. Consciously embody the gentleman's code this week to be respectful, even when others aren't. Stand firm in your principles, but remain open to new perspectives. Be the kind of man others admire, not out of fear, but out of genuine respect. Becoming a legacy builder now. We arrive at a crucial stage of the journey, legacy building. What we do now echoes an eternity. Marcus Aurelius. Your legacy isn't just what you leave behind. It's the impact you make every day. True legacy isn't about personal glory or recognition. It's about contribution. It's about making the world better simply because you were part of it. Family. The foundation of your legacy begins here. It's in the values you instill, the love and support you offer, and the respect you demonstrate. It's in the moments of laughter, the wisdom shared, and the traditions you uphold. Community. Your influence extends beyond your household. Serve your community. Volunteer, mentor, be involved. Small acts of kindness create ripples far beyond what you can see. Society. While global change may seem overwhelming, it starts with individual action. Support causes that align with your values. Stand up for what's right, and use your skills to make a difference. Consider the story of Cincinnatus, a man who answered the call of duty, not for power or recognition, but out of responsibility. His name is still remembered today, not for personal ambition, but for selfless service. Building a legacy isn't about grand, heroic gestures. It's about consistent, positive action over time. Every choice, every action, every interaction shapes the mark you leave on this world. A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit in. This is the essence of legacy, creating value beyond yourself. So I challenge you, what legacy do you want to build? How do you want to be remembered? What mark will you leave on the world? Start building that legacy today. As we reach the end of this journey, we realize it's just the beginning. We've explored resilience through adversity, the pillars of manhood, self-mastery, the warrior's mind, the gentleman's code, and the path of the legacy builder. Through this, we discover profound truths. Strength isn't about control over others. It's about mastery of self. Courage isn't the absence of fear, but the decision to act despite it. Honor and respect aren't relics of the past. They are timeless virtues that define true character. Mahatma Gandhi once said, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." This encapsulates everything we've discussed. Being a man isn't just about existing. It's about actively shaping the world for the better. Your next steps now. Take a moment to reflect. These aren't just rhetorical questions. Take time to answer them. Write them down. Make an action plan. Being a man isn't about conforming to an outdated mold. It's about forging your own path and using your strength to create a positive impact. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who might benefit. In the comments, let's discuss what part of this journey spoke to you the most. What challenges are you facing in your own growth? And if you're ready for more, stay tuned. In our next discussion, we'll dive into practical strategies for building resilience in adversity. Until then, stand tall, stay strong, and never stop growing. Remember, your path to becoming a better man starts now.